about the fifth? That was the fifth one?
Food, detox, supplements, exercise,
and water.
and water.
So why are those machines no longer available?
It's just that brand. There's lots of other
Yeah,
ones
the
that
people
are
that were making that machine are no longer in business.
Okay.
That's why. That's a good machine though, and the one that we're advertising on our site is a good machine too. I had said that I talk about Kangen Water more than most Kangen Water distributors. How many people here are Kangen Water distributors? Just about everybody? Let me rephrase that. How many people here are not Kangen Water distributors yet? Okay, there are a few. And whether you end up being distributors or not, that's entirely up to you, of course. I am not a Kangen Water distributor. We do not sell Enagic machines or any machines. But it's the #1 thing, along with the Relive supplements, that I recommend to everyone with cancer, to everyone without cancer. That's everybody, isn't it? And I do it.
Doesn't everybody has cancer?
What's that?
Doesn't everybody have cancer?
See, there you go again, correcting me. Okay.
No, I'm asking.
You're right.
Okay.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Someone might just have a little colony of cells one day and they're destroyed by the immune system. Gone. So, yes, and literally you are correct. But we recommend this water not because it tastes good. It does. 11.5 is not as good as the 9.5. And of course, the company that makes these machines will tell you not to drink the 11.5. They'll say drink up to the 9.5. I think it's liability issues because 11.5 is 100 times more alkaline than the 9.5. And we deal with alkaline things in cancer. We deal with cesium chloride. The pH of cesium chloride is 14. It's the very top of the scale. And yet, cancer patients have used this. You can only use so much. Your body tells you when you've had enough. And you have to supplement with potassium when you do because it'll leach the potassium out of your body. But there's many people that say this is what made the difference for me. But you have to do it under supervision. It's not something that you just do by yourself. So we don't have any qualms about the 11.5, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But I talk about the water in chapter 6 of the book here, and it's a rather long chapter because this is pretty important. And Dr. Jerry Tennant, who is actually a dentist, wrote about healing, and he says healing is voltage. Healing is voltage. And so I kind of glommed onto that, and I studied Dr. Tennant too. And voltage and pH are equitable. They're interchangeable once you know the scale. And ORP, same thing. Those of you who aren't Enagic distributors won't know what ORP is. That stands for oxidation reduction potential. So this water has characteristics that go far and away above what normal water has. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the science of the water. First of all, we talk about hydration. If you and I go over to a tap and drink a tap of chlorinated water, it's likely that your body's going to absorb maybe about 17 to 20% of it because it's got molecules in it that glom together, and it doesn't go into the micropores of your cells. It's too big, and so it kind of passes through your body. Whereas this water, when it's ionized, going through, you can see the machine over there, you hook the splitter to your tap and turn the water on, change it to ionization. The water comes through the hose and it goes into the filter, and then it goes into the ionization chamber where the water molecule is split into acid and alkaline. The acid water goes down the drain. The alkaline water comes out the top hose, which you drink in the pH that you have dialed in on the machine, whether it's 8.5, 9.0, 9.5, or 11.5. Those are the drinkable waters. the water that comes out of the acid tube is the remnant of 14. The pH scale is 0 to 14. So if you're running 9.5 water, alkaline water coming out in the pH, what's coming out the alkaline port is what? 4.5, because they add together to make 14. That's what when I say the alkaline or the water molecule is split. That's how it works. So the ORP, again, the oxidation reduction potential is that alkaline water that comes out that is rich in hydrogen and oxygen and what we call hydroxyl ions, OH minus. That's the hydroxyl ion. What comes out the other hose is H2. That's the acid water, and not good for you unless you're tending to your wounds. 2.5 water, when you're running 11.5 out the top hose, you're running 2.5 out the bottom, and that's kind of like an antiseptic water. I mean, you put that on MRSA and it'll kill MRSA even. I think even probably flesh-eating bacteria. Because water, when it gets below about 2.7, will kill most pathogens known to man. I don't recommend you drink it unless it's part of, let's say, Dr. Peggy Parker's protocol. If you want to do that, then okay. That seems to be working pretty well for some people, but you're just drinking minute amounts of the 2.5, and it's for a specific reason to aid in digestion, so that's okay. But the ORP, oxidation reduction potential, can run from, depending on your water source, where you're getting your water from, can run from minus 300, 350, all the way, we've seen it all the way to minus 900. And that's pretty alkaline. That's pretty high ORP. That's actually a very high ORP. But ORP can be destroyed, and we need to understand that. And we hear a lot that people, they can't afford a machine right now, but they want to drink the water. So a lot of Kangen Water distributors give away water, like to a cancer patient for a period of time, to let them get the feel for it and see how it works for them. And I laud those of you who do that. That's a great thing to do. But we need to get the water fresh. I've seen people getting carboys, the big 5-gallon things full of water, and I say, don't do that. Because the water is more durable than any other ionized water I have ever seen. But it's still fragile to an extent. What affects the water? Air. You expose it to open air, it affects the water. You expose it to motion, it affects the water, it degrades the ORP. Light.
Heat.
Light will affect it as well and degrade the ORP. Of course, I had to do the testing to figure that out. So I took a gallon bottle and I ran 9.5 into the gallon bottle, ran it all the way to the top, very top, screwed the lid on, took the water, put it on the floor in a very cool area, covered it so no light reached it, and I left it there for at least 5 days. Because people from other companies, when I was asking them how long the ORP lasted, would always dodge me. And they said, well, yeah, it doesn't last too long. Well, we're not exactly sure, you know, all of these things. Until finally one guy got fed up and said, it doesn't last, it's gone in less than a day. I said, oh, really? So I did the test. After 5 days, I pulled that bottle up and put an ORP meter to it, and it still registered minus 100. And I said, that's the one that I want, because the others don't last. That's because the Magic machines, in my opinion, are built better. They have great plate area. The plates are built very well. In other words, when you're taking and titanium plates and gold plating them, I've seen the plating business, and it has to be plated well. And we've seen machines from other companies where the plating is falling apart. We've seen people actually poisoned by these machines. And so we ask people to look carefully when you're trying to choose a water ionizer. For our money, nothing comes close, because I only want to buy one. Sometimes ionizers from other companies may work great out of the box. They may work great for a month, and then they start going downhill. I don't want to buy another one next year and another one the year after. I just want one. And I still got one after 10 years. It's still running like an old Maytag washer, you know, it's still going. It's still going. So I consider the Kangen Water machines to be the Rolls Royces of water machines. Because we've never found anything better, and we've looked at a lot of different machines. I've always made the announcement that when someone comes out with a machine that works as well, that is as good or better, that we'll advertise that one too. After all these years, it still hasn't happened. We hear a lot of people saying ours does what theirs does for half the price, but it never does. Never does. So we chose Kangen, and we chose it again because of the science. And this gets back to the cell voltage. Your cells got to run at close to minus 50 millivolts to be healthy. When they don't, you're not healthy, period. So how do you get that cell voltage up negative-wise to where it needs to be? Because if your cell voltage is minus 20 or minus 15, you're sick. If it's minus 10, you're probably dead or dying. The best way used to be to eat an organic vegan diet, because vegetables are known to have a high pH, and they're known to help increase the pH of your body, to reduce the inflammation, to raise the cell voltage. That used to be the best way. Now it's the second best way. The best way to raise the cell voltage now is Kangen water. Period. Show me a better way. Let me study it. Okay. It's Kangen water. But you need to get it fresh off the machine. If you have it for 2 or 3 days in a bottle, it's probably still better than any other, as long as you're keeping it cool and keeping it out of the light and not shaking it. Probably still better than any other waters out there. But you want to get it fresh because you want the whole value. You want a minus 500 or a minus 600 ORP if you can get it. You want the pH. The pH will stay up there basically. The hydration factor will deteriorate over time too, because water molecules in that state will begin to glom together more. And I tell you what, that's a very important thing that people skip a lot, is you need hydration, but you need that water. It's not just about drinking a lot of water, it's about drinking the right kind of water. I'm convinced that Kangen water will hydrate up to 80%, maybe more, because of its nature when it's fresh and off the machine. Whereas your typical waters, whether it's RO, reverse osmosis, distilled water, tap water, bottled water, no matter what it is only going to hydrate 17 to 20%. And we always hear your 70, 75% water, you need to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. You need this much a day, however much people say that you need. I think you need a lot of water a day. A lot. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Cell voltage, we need to get it up. We need to drink a lot of water, especially when we have cancer. We have a protocol for stage 4 cancer patients. And if someone's stage 3, the doctor tells them they're probably already stage 4. That means metastatic cancer. That means it's moved to another part of the body outside of the lymph system. That doesn't mean it's incurable. That just means that the doctors can't do anything for you any longer if they could in the first place. They can't give you enough chemo or radiation to kill metastatic cancer. No how, no way, because if they did, you'd be dead. That's how it works. So, we do what Enagic says we shouldn't do. We drink the 11.5 water. Why do we do it? Because we know it won't harm us. And we know that it has a higher low negative ORP, and we have seen it make a dramatic difference in people's lives. Keep in mind, and I want to make sure everyone who's listening to this, everyone has a camera here. Kangen water does not heal anything, okay? All of these supplements back here do not heal anything, including cancer. We talked about the immune system. We need to strengthen the epigenetic systems of our body and the human immune system. That's what's going to heal you. Does Kangen water help with those things? Well, based on the science, absolutely it does. It helps to raise the pH of the body. The cell voltage, both of those play into healing those systems, to reducing the acid and the inflammation in the body. Cancer patients are all acid. Most Americans are acid today. We're born alkaline, right? You ever smell a newborn baby? It smells good. It's alkaline. You ever walk into an old folks retirement home? Smells bad. Acid. Acid. Alkaline good. Acid bad. And yet our bodies are acidic unless we're doing something about it. And what comes after acidosis? Acidic. Inflammation. Disease. Cancer. One after another. They're all there, the whole package. So we need to change from acid to alkaline, slightly alkaline. We need to do it. We need to get that cell voltage back up. When you pack more voltage into that cell and then put in Relive or some other nutrients, you have got the combination that helps the cells to heal, that throws the cancer out. That works. You're healing the epigenetic systems of the body. And it works. And it's why we have literally thousands and thousands of testimonials on Kangen water. They never stop. And it's not just for cancer. I mean, it can be for anything. People detox with Kangen water. We've seen stomachs healed by people who drink Kangen water. The Kangen water didn't heal the stomach. Doesn't heal anything, remember? But it helps restore the body. Restore the systems of the body. And it works. And it works for everyone. I haven't seen it not work for everyone. Well, let me correct myself. Does everyone know what a detox reaction or Herxheimer reaction is? You ever seen anyone go to a Kangen water meeting and they're watching the demo and they're there for an hour and a half and whoa, drank a half gallon or 3/4 of a gallon of water, 9.5, and they're already toxic. And they get home that night and we call them up the next day and they say, I'm never drinking that water again, it made me sick. And I listen and I say, good. Do you know why it made you sick? Once they understand, it's different because your body needs to detox, but you don't want to go too fast. So that's why we tell people when they start, those that choose to drink the 11.5, which end-stage cancer patients have done, we say start slowly. If you're really toxic and you want to drink a gallon of 11.5, oh boy, oh boy, it'll be good for you, but I wouldn't do it.
We had to back him down to 9.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go back.
8.5.
Backwards and then increase, stick with the volume of water you're drinking, but sometimes you got to back off the pH till you get to where, until you're not as toxic, until your body begins to detox. But again, if I had cancer, what would I do? If I was told I could only do 2 things, what would I do? I'd drink Kangen water and I'd take the Relive products because I know how good they are. I think I could survive on those for a long period of time because I'm getting all the hydration I need. I'm getting the antioxidants I need. I'm getting the alkalinity, the pH that I need. I'm getting all the nutrients that I need. Boom. So I tell people when we put together a protocol for them We put together all the 5 steps and all the supplements and all the things that we would do. We're not telling them to do it because it's not a prescription. But we say, this is what we would do. You do whatever you like, but this is what we would do. But I'll tell you, pay special attention to this. Pay special attention to this water. Because if anything can make the difference for you now, mostly end-stage cancer patients and drinking the 11.5, this is going to be the thing. No amount of chemo or radiation is going to help you now. We know that. And we don't know of anything else that will. People that are in a dire situation with cancer need immediate help. Those that have been sent home to die. We have several cases of pancreatic cancer, always fatal. Always fatal. Lung cancer, almost always fatal. Let me tell you the story about Louise before I'm done here. Louise went to see her chiropractor. Louise is in her 70s. And he starts to work on her and she says, well, doc, sorry, but this is the last time I'm going to come and see you. He says, why? Well, I got cancer. Doc says I only got 3 months to live. And he says, oh my. He says, I wish you'd have told me that sooner. He says, why? You're a chiropractor. He says, well, I got this water here and I'd like you to try it. He goes, well, okay, what have I got to lose? So she starts drinking the 9.5. She buys a machine. She says, you got anything stronger than this? And he goes, well, it produces 11.5 too, but no one recommends that you drink that. And she looks at him and goes, what have I got to lose? I got 3 months to live. She starts drinking a gallon a day. Three months later, she goes back to the doctor. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead. No cancer in her body. It's the only thing she changed. The Kangen water didn't heal her. That's not what I'm saying. She would argue with me. It changed her. It changed her systems, her immune system. Her son called her and said, I've been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He was in LA. 3 months to live, same thing. True story. I verified all of this. Said it can't work anymore, done for. She says, no, wait. She packed up her machine and flew to Southern California, and they both drank 11.5. 3 months later, he was back to work. 2 people in one family doing one thing that was different, and their cancer left them. And that's been years ago, and as far as I know, they're still going today. So, once again, I'm not saying that Kangen water heals cancer or anything else. And you can't say that either. There's not one place in this book that says Kangen water heals cancer or anything else. I have to say this publicly because there are those that want to say that I've been going around saying that Kangen water heals cancer. And I have never said that, ever. Did you get that right there?
We got it.
Good. Never said that, nor does it heal cancer. We've got to make that distinction. First of all, you don't want to get the company in trouble. Because for a lot of you, this is your bread and butter. And of course, they don't want to get in trouble, but you know the FDA is going to contact them now and again, because that's what they do. Any company like this that is successful is going to get a call or a letter from the FDA. And Nagic has already gotten one. And they're bound to get another one because their products work too well. Isn't that a shame? It is against the law in the United States of America to heal cancer. It's against the law. Did you know that?
Without chemo and radiation.
That's right, and chemo and radiation don't heal cancer. It's against the law. To use the things that God gave us to keep us well and to heal us when we're not. It's against the law. Isn't that a shame? 70-some doctors have been killed over the last 2 years for doing these types of things. And if you followed that, It's really a shame. They're studying GC map, for those of you who have seen that. It's a protein that your body makes. But cancer sends out an enzyme called nagalase that whacks it. And so cancer sustains itself that way. The GC map, the protein taken in a manufactured way, whacks the cancer. We can't have something like that in our marketplace. It would devastate modern medicine. It would devastate it. And there's more things out there just like this. I forgot to give you my disclaimer when we started. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. Maybe I do. I'm not a doctor. I don't tell people what to do. I've told you that several times. I don't give prescriptions. I don't write prescriptions. I don't say, oh, you have cancer, go do this. I say, this is what I would do. You can do whatever you like, but this is what I would do. And based on my years of experience, these things work for people who want to do them and will invest themselves in doing it. What's the number one thing I would use? I'll say it again, Kangen Water, without a doubt. And for those of you who aren't Kangen Water distributors, I don't know that you'll become distributors after this, that's up to you. But this is a product that you can believe in because you look at the science. A lot of people are going to mock you and say, well, it's just water. It's just water. All of you have seen that. But that's why it's important that you know the science behind this. It's very important because you can point to that. And you can point to the studies that have been done. I can do that. This is why this water does what it does. And this is what it does, based on the studies that have been done. That's pretty simple. No, it doesn't heal cancer or anything else, but it will help to heal the immune system. The only thing that will heal you. That's what I've got. Well, actually, I got another 6 hours of stuff, but you guys don't have the time. Do I have any, take a question or two? Does anyone have a question? Yes. Myasthenia gravis? You get a big 5-gallon tub and put Kangen water in it, put your head in it. No, I'm just kidding. I would use a similar protocol that we're using. I would drink Kangen water, I would take Relive, I would take magnesium, I would take vitamin D3, I would get sufficient iodine, I would do all these things that we talked about because we need to get these nutrients. Nutrients change those epigenetics in the body. People will say that things like this are not healable. There's a lot of things that we have been told are not healable. We've been told neurodegenerative diseases can't be healed. Right now, we can only try and make their last days better a little bit. That's not true. And a lot of things we've been told are not true. So I would undertake a nutritional protocol, which includes the Kangen water and these nutrients that we talked about. And if you have a specific situation that you want to outline to me, work up an email to me, and I will give you a response via email, okay? Here's my email. It comes right to me. And you can ask me questions. You can send me something. info@americanaci.org. And I know it sounds like a generic email, but that one comes directly to me. And if you lose that, you can go to our website, just americanaci.org, and where it says contact us at the top, that one comes directly to me too. Yes?
My husband was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis about 2 years ago, and he's been in remission for several years. Like drinking the water and taking supplements. So can't get better.
He is getting better or not?
Yeah, he's in remission.
Yeah.
They can't find him. So they don't want to tell him.
I love those stories. That's great news. Did you hear that?
Can you say it?
Get the water rolling. Now I talked about the 11-5. If someone's got a stomach ache, you don't have to give them 11-5. We're talking about people that are seriously ill and need some serious intervention. because it's like it's not medicine. We can't say it's medicine, but it is a powerful entity when you look at the 100 times more alkaline, the higher low negative ORP. It's powerful, and so we have a tendency to use that, not even make recommendations, but we say this is what we would do if we had stage 3 and 4 cancer, 3 or 4. And I just told you that stage 3 is likely a lot of times already stage 4 because it's migrating, they just can't see it yet. So I would do that. I wouldn't panic with that. If you're a stage 3 today, don't panic because I said you might be a stage 4. No, you are what you are. You just have to go about doing the things that will bring you back to wellness. And we know we can do that with people that have 90 days or less to live. We've heard of people with a few days left to live who survived. People who came out of hospice. You know, you go into hospice and you almost always die. They put you there for a reason. And they give you morphine and they limit your intake of food and water and things because they know you're gonna die. And so that's pretty powerful stuff. So don't take this simplified 5-step protocol, the pill as it were, lightly, because these are the things that have always worked for sick people. Always. You do the right things. When we don't have Kangen water, what do the Hunsakuts do? They drink glacier water because it's naturally ionized water. It's water that's rushing down the mountain, pure water. It's going across the rocks in the stream bed, the minerals, under power, and it's being ionized. The Hunsakut people drink that water, it's gray in color, and they eat apricot kernels, and they have never had a known case of cancer living to be over 100 years old, a lot, until they started going down out of the Hindu Kush in that area, down into Pakistan to the Burger Kings, and then they get cancer like the rest of us, you know. Yes?
I have a quick question. Can you just touch on the Ukon a little bit?
Yes. I forgot about that. The Yukon. Everyone know what Yukon is? It's one of the territories in Canada. Isn't that the Yukon? Yes. Oh, different one. I've been there. Next time I go, I'm going to take my Yukon with me. And I'll write about it. Yukon and the Yukon. I know, it's getting late, isn't it? The Yukon is, first of all, I have to explain that I love turmeric. Turmeric has an active ingredient in it called curcumin. 5%, there's a lot of active ingredients in turmeric, not just one. But the curcumin has been singled out by a lot of people because it's very active and bioavailable generally in the body. But when you mix that, your body has a tendency to fight turmeric at times. Your liver wants to metabolize it, you know, and it's sometimes you don't use as much of that as you should because your body's not able to. But when you combine the curcumin and the turmeric with piperine, which is 5% of black pepper, it's the active ingredient in black pepper. Those two combine and they make the curcumin, the turmeric, 1,000 times more bioavailable. Enagic has done a great thing. They combine their spring and fall turmerics with oils. They have 3 or 4 different oils that they combine with. And these oils help to stabilize it and make it 10 times more bioavailable right out of the chute. So it's a very stable product. And we've heard just great testimonies. When I was in Southeast Asia, these people are eating that turmeric, that Ukon, like you can't believe. They're eating 10 a day. They say, take 5 in the morning, in the afternoon I need more energy, I take 5 more. Some people are taking 10 at a time because it really, really powers you up and it works. It can be a little expensive at times, but it's well worth it. You know, we look at things sometimes, you know, based on the dollars, you know, what's it going to cost? And, you know, sometimes we have to do that. We all have to live within budgets. But we can't sacrifice our health for dollars. We need to take a look, well, where could I save? Where could I spend? Sure, Kangen water machines are expensive. They are, but they're worth every cent you pay for them because it's your life that you're dealing with here. Now, I'm not going to come right out and say Kangen water machines have saved people's lives. I wouldn't say that. I couldn't say that. But there are people that would argue with me. Yeah, so they're worth it's worth the price of admission, and the same is true with the Yukon. And I've heard rumors that they're putting piperine in the Yukon now. I mean, it'll be the best product in the world for turmeric, a turmeric product, if that's the case. And I'm waiting to see that. And look at the studies on turmeric. I mean, there's been so many studies on turmeric, it's unbelievable. You can go to PubMed and you can see them all there too. And turmeric is one of the greatest things you can put in your mouth, in your body.
Where's the source come from?
Word what?
There's all kinds of turmeric out there, but what's this best source?
Well, the best source is to get one right now that is combined with oils and piperine. Yukon, they've got some, is that a box right back there? Yukon is one of the best sources right here, yeah.
Yeah, hold it up.
It's very
Yeah.
Okinawa, Japan. Very rich soils.
And it comes in little pearls. You can put 5 in your mouth and swallow them, just bingo. And it's a good product. And what I like is they've got that pearl shape to them and the kind of that pearl shell. So they're going to survive the stomach and get right to the small intestine and be absorbed there. And that's very important. It's the same way if you're taking probiotics. You know, you eat yogurt and they say, oh, got all these probiotics in there. It's a bunch of junk. It's loaded with sugar. Those probiotics aren't going to survive your stomach. They're probably already dead. And they're supposed to be live, good bacteria for your body. We all need probiotics because if you've ever had antibiotics, you've destroyed some of your gut biome. 2/3 of your immune system starts in your gut, in your intestines. You need to be able to restore that good bacteria. So you need a good probiotic that has 5 to 10 different types of strains. And then you need 5 billion per capsule. You need it to survive the stomach. Don't buy one that is in the refrigerator at your health food store. I mean, if you got to keep it in the refrigerator, it's not going to survive your stomach. It's not going to happen. And so find one that has an enteric coating or something on it that's going to survive the stomach. Get enzymes too. You go to our store. I say we have a store, but we don't sell anything. It's just our recommended products on our website. First few things you'll see is good probiotics, good enzymes. Everyone knows Shan Stratton in here. Wade Lightheart. Wade's a member of our advisory board. They've got their probiotics and enzymes on there, and they're good ones. They've done a lot of research. You know, Wade's the guy who went back as a vegan. He had won the Mr. World contest at his weight, and then took years and years off and was a vegan and came back and on that and Kangen Water and won it again. Unbelievable. So he's a good story.
How do you feel about a vegan diet?
Vegan diet, it's not for everyone. And we need to make sure that we get the right protein. A lot of people do well on a vegan diet. Some people just aren't made for it. But if you're going to do some meat, I've been up to the Kenai River fishing a few times, and so I know where my fish come from. You know, don't eat farm fish. Eat cold water fish, small. You don't want these massive tuna. They've been in the ocean too long. You want the little tuna that haven't absorbed all the mercury. You know, you want to eat smaller fish, smaller halibut. You don't need to eat the 600-pounder. But small cold water fish, mackerel, that's good as well. Free-range poultry is good. You want stuff that's pure and clean. So I would do that, but I would take enzymes. You know, there's a trophoblast theory of cancer. I don't expect you to understand that right now, but it has to do with enzymes, and it's a century old. And Dr. Nicholas Gonzalez reproved it for the 3rd time after John Beard had submitted his theory, and then Dr. William Kelly took it over. And he was doing fantastic things with this pancreatic enzymes, very high doses of pancreatic enzymes before he died under mysterious circumstances. So, Oh, drawing.
We got the drawing, yes.
I just wanted to ask.
Oh, yes, one last question.
11.5 protocols.
11
Are they out there?
Yeah, if you want 11.5 protocol, send me an email and I'll set you up with it, okay? And describe your situation briefly. You don't have to give me a whole litany, but and I'll give you what I would do, not a prescription, okay?